The Windhover by Gerard Manley Hopkins. The Windhover was written in 1877 but published in 1918 after Hopkins's death. The poem is a Petrarchan sonnet and focuses on a bird, the Windhover, a type of falcon, which symbolizes Christ and explores themes of nature, divinity, and grace. Hopkins was a Jesuit priest, and much of his poetry is imbued with religious fervor, celebrating God's presence in the natural world. The word Windhover refers to a kestrel or falcon, a bird that hovers in the air against the wind. It sets the tone for the poem's exploration of motion, power, and grace. The Windhover is structured as a Petrarchan, or Italian sonnet, consisting of an octave, 8 lines, followed by a sestet, 6 lines. The rhyme scheme of the octave is A, B, B, A, B, B, A, and the sestet follows a more varied rhyme scheme, typically C, D, C, D, C, D, or C, D, E, C, D, E. Hopkins used sprung rhythm, a metrical system where each foot begins with a stressed syllable. This gives the poem an organic, energetic rhythm, mimicking the unpredictable and dynamic movements of the Windhover itself. Hopkins heavily uses alliteration, repetition of consonant sounds, and assonance, repetition of vowel sounds. These sound techniques create musicality and evoke the movement and energy of the bird. Example: Daylight's dauphin, dapple dawn-drawn falcon, alliteration of D. The poem is rich in visual imagery that captures the beauty and majesty of the falcon's flight, alongside tactile and kinetic imagery.
I caught this morning's minion, King Dom of Daylight's dauphin, dapple dawn-drawn falcon, in his riding.
Morning's minion. The Windhover is seen as a servant, minion, of the morning, symbolizing vitality and energy. Dapple dawn-drawn falcon. The falcon's appearance and movement seem to be part of the dappled dawn, emphasizing its harmonious connection with nature. Riding refers to the bird's graceful flight, commanding the air as it hovers and swoops.
Of the rolling level underneath him steady air and striding.
The bird rides on the steady currents of air, yet there's a sense of power and authority in the word striding, as if the falcon controls the skies.
High there, how he rung upon the rein of a wimpling wing in his ecstasy.
Rung upon the rein. The bird is compared to a horse being controlled by a rein, suggesting mastery over the air and its own flight. Wimpling wing, the soft, smooth movement of the bird's wing. Ecstasy. There is a spiritual and almost divine joy in the falcon's motion.
Then off forth on swing, as a skate's heel sweeps smooth on a bow bend.
The bird's motion is compared to the smooth, graceful arc of a skating figure, reinforcing its effortless beauty.
The hurl and gliding rebuffed the big wind. My heart in hiding stirred for a bird, the achieve of, the mastery of the thing.
The falcon skillfully counters the powerful wind, emphasizing its strength and precision. My heart in hiding. The speaker feels deeply moved by the sight, suggesting a spiritual or emotional awakening. Sestet, lines 9 to 14. In the sestet, the poem shifts from the description of the bird's flight to a broader, symbolic meditation. The bird's flight is connected to deeper spiritual significance.
Brute beauty and valour and act, O air pride plume here, buckle, and the fire that breaks from thee then, a billion.
He birds outward beauty, brute beauty, and strength, valour, collapse into a moment of divine intensity, symbolized by buckle, buckle. This word could mean to collapse under pressure, or alternatively, to fasten and unite. It indicates a transformative moment. Fire. The bird becomes a metaphor for Christ, whose suffering, crucifixion, leads to divine glory. This fire could also represent the fire of spiritual passion.
Times told lovelier, more dangerous, O my chevalier.
Chevalier. The falcon is addressed as chevalier, meaning a knight, further linking it to Christ, who is often symbolized as a knight or warrior in Christian imagery. The beauty of Christ, or the falcon, is seen as dangerous because it contains both majesty and suffering.
No wonder of it. Sheer plod makes plough down Sicilian shine, and blue bleak embers are, my dear. Fall, gall themselves, and gash gold vermilion.
Plough down Sicilian. Even the hard work of ploughing the earth brings out the rich soil, shining in the sunlight. This alludes to how effort and hardship reveal hidden beauty or grace. Blue bleak embers. Cold, almost dead coals that, when stirred, show hidden fire beneath. This image speaks of latent potential and resurrection. Gash gold vermilion. The coals, when they gash, reveal a fiery red-gold core, symbolizing divine power emerging from suffering or hardship.
Themes in The Windhover.
Divine grace in nature. Hopkins sees the Windhover as a manifestation of God's grace and beauty, an example of the divine in the natural world. The bird's mastery of flight is akin to Christ's mastery over sin and death. Sacrifice and redemption. The fire and embers imagery in the sestet suggests the idea of suffering leading to a greater, redemptive beauty. The buckle symbolizes both the bird's moment of collapse and transcendence, paralleling the Christian concept of Christ's sacrifice. Beauty and power. The Windhover's movements, described in vivid and ecstatic language, reflect a blend of physical beauty and immense power. This duality mirrors the way Hopkins viewed the relationship between God's creation and divine authority. The Windhover is a celebration of the majesty of both nature and God. The falcon, with its graceful mastery of flight, becomes a symbol of Christ, embodying both beauty and strength. Hopkins' language, full of musicality and complex imagery, elevates the bird to a symbol of divine grace, revealing how the poet perceived God's presence in the world around him.